This might ruffle some feathers. Let's talk about it. What is up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Today we're going to be talking about some Blu-ray collecting hot takes. Now, some of these I share, some of these I don't necessarily agree with, but I just wanted to note down and jot down some of the community discourse that has been going on with the collecting community, especially with this hobby, because I feel like a lot of us are pretty territorial, and also a lot of us hold very strong opinions. So I just wanted to make a fun little video. Again, this is just for fun. Don't take what I say super serious and super to heart. I'm not attacking anyone, but these are just some of the things that I've personally noticed and that I've heard other collectors talk about within the hobby of collecting movies. And before I get started, I love collecting movies. Collecting physical media is not stupid, it's not useless, because clearly I spent a lot of money on it. But these are some of my hot takes, my controversial opinions. Let me know down below some of yours. Let's get into it. Now, this is one I've heard a lot, and that is Steelbooks are overrated and overpriced. Many collectors feel like the premium on Steelbooks is driven by hype and not actual quality. They're prone to scratches, dents, and sometimes they have bad artwork. Some say they're just basically pop culture NFTs. And I've seen this, you know, most of the times when I see like Blu-ray, the Reddit forum, it's always someone complaining about how Amazon shipped their Steelbook and there's just such high margins for like, it has to be perfect, and sometimes those cases aren't always fulfilled. It is usually $10 to $12 more expensive. It's like, if it's a collector's version, it's even more. Sometimes they'll re-release it just for companies to just milk out even more money from collectors. And I've been seeing it quite often. You know, I love me a good Steelbook, but it doesn't take up a lot of my collection. And how many times have we seen those bullshit, lazy ass releases of Steelbooks that just has the picture of the dude? Like, don't even get me started on those like G.I. Joe Steelbooks or some of those Blu-ray Steelbooks that look horrible. I love me some original artwork. Some of those Scream Factory Steelbooks look absolutely beautiful. The Lionsgate Steelbooks look absolutely beautiful. But sometimes with the cases, like the Disney 100 Steelbook or the Avengers Endgame Steelbook, just really lacks a lot of creativity and it costs a lot more. Not to mention that, again, most companies don't ship their Steelbooks in proper packaging, so most of them have all of those little hairline scratches. They're prone to denting, and then if you really want to protect them, you gotta spend $10 more on those like Melco boxes, those pieces of plastic that you put over your Steelbook to make them more protected, and that's $10 more. So you're basically spending $20 to $25 more than the regular slipcover or keep case edition. And is it really worth it? Sometimes more than not, they aren't. My next hot take, and I actually made a full video on this, is that 4K isn't worth it unless you have a top tier setup. Some argue that the differences between Blu-ray and 4K is negligible or sometimes not even noticeable on average TVs, which most consumers have. And unless you have that $2,000+ OLED with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos and a calibrated setup with great speakers, and if the colors are calibrated, you're not getting the value for what it costs. I highly agree with that. I've gone from having a cheaper, you know, even though it was $1,000, $1,500 LG TV, I couldn't tell the difference from Blu-ray to 4K, but as soon as I switched to my $3,000 OLED C1 originally when I got from 2021, it blew my mind. I can immediately notice the black levels, the HDR, the 4K resolution uptick, but I wouldn't have been able to unless I made that big setup. Not even to mention the fact of Dolby Atmos, and most people can't really even tell, you know, unless you have like a 7-speaker setup, and most people don't. So when it comes to the 4K format, especially for how much it's being increased, sometimes $10 more than the actual Blu-ray, is it really worth it? In my case, it is, because I'm a nerd and I have the setup, but for me to recommend it to a random person on the street, it's a lot harder. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this one is one of my hottest takes, one that I kind of share, and that is boutique labels are overpriced and not worth it. Now, let me start, okay? don't bring the pitchforks yet, because as you see on my shelf, I have quite a bit of boutique releases. Some of my favorite releases are from boutique labels, but I can't pass the fact that the quality assurance on a lot of these boutique releases are fucking shit garbage. How many times have you heard of replacement disc programs? Remember how Scream Factory absolutely bungled the Friday the 13th box set release. One of the most anticipated box sets ever released in all of physical media Blu-ray collecting. And it came with multiples of the movies, poor audio versions, the wrong color correcting, so many unnecessary quality assurances, things that could have been easily fixed, and for something that costed over like $150 retail here in Canada, hundreds of dollars for a box set, and they couldn't even give you all of the movies. You'd have to email them. Sometimes they'd take months. I know people who haven't even gotten a response from Scream Factory for their replacement disc, and it's not just boutique Blu-rays. You know, Paramount suffers from that a lot. I emailed about my Titanic disc. I still haven't gotten a response for that. And I'm a YouTuber, and I make YouTube videos, and I haven't even gotten a response from them. Not to mention, a lot of boutique Blu-rays are extremely expensive. Some Kino Lorbers go up to $45, $50. Don't even come with bonus features. Like, I guess you're paying for the 4K, you know, I guess, transfer of it, but there needs to be more to it to be a boutique thing. There needs to be more supplemental factors. That's why I like Criterion a lot, is that you do get a great transfer, and it comes with a shit ton of bonus features. Now, the frills aren't really there as with other boutique releases, but when it comes to Kino Lorber, Arrow, Second Sight, I know so many releases. Every other month, I always see someone, you know, talking about the replacement disc program, the wrong color coding, the wrong audio transfers, the wrong, you know, it skips halfway through, like all of these issues just from... And from a 4K that costs up to $50 is unacceptable, and the fact that it is still going on now in the year of our Lord 2025 with all of these technological advancements is insane, and from a boutique release, that's crazy. So that's why one of my hot takes is that they're overpriced and overrated, and honestly sometimes not even worth the money. Also, for boutique 4K, some of the worst fucking movies getting huge releases, like Congo? Really? Oh, like a $50 VSU release for Congo? My sesame cake, bro. Like, ugh, crazy. This goes into part 2. I already talked about Criterion, but Criterion is too expensive for what it offers. While the collection is well respected and on this high pedestal, some would argue that Criterion charges way too much for their releases and isn't the gold standard that it once was, especially compared to boutique labels like an Arrow Video. Now, this has been a topic in the Criterion forum for the longest time. A lot of people shitting on Criterions. I personally love Criterions. I have a whole dedicated few rows to Criterion, but I definitely see where they're coming from, because I want to see one of you motherfuckers. Have you bought a day one Criterion for $40-something? Have you? Have you really? Because only time I see people talking about buying Criterions are when they're $20, when they're on sale. I've never seen someone actually buy at retail price, and that goes to my sentiment of it being overpriced, because no one buys them like day one. No one buys them for retail price. And while all the extras are great, but it's just that sometimes for the movie that you're getting and for all the stuff, for a retail price, specifically for retail price, it just doesn't make sense to own it. That's why a lot of people, if not all collectors of Criterion, wait for a sale. I only added that in because of that funny fact that I literally don't know a single person who buys Criterions for its asking retail price. So that's why I added that into the list, just because it is a hot take. You know, a lot of people love Criterion, me, myself included. But I do have to agree that, yeah, those prices are insane. Here in Canada, they're even way, like $50 for a Blu-ray is crazy work. Especially for sometimes the transfer being, especially for a lot of these newer films too. Like, they're like, I don't really see the difference. Like, for a lot of people, they don't really see the difference. And even the bonus features are some things that are readily available everywhere else. And even though, you know, I am a proponent of everything physical, the price to quality proposition for retail, by the way, for retail, sometimes is a bit not there. This one hurts because this is literally me, and that most collectors never even watch the films they own. A lot of collectors hoard their discs, shrink wrapped and untouched. How many movies? I'm gonna ask you, big time collectors who buy lots of movies, how many of y'all in your shelf are they still in the shrink wrap? Are they still in the plastic? For me, shit, dude, it's a lot. It's a lot. But to be fair, in my defense, before I buy a movie, I'll watch it, and then like sometimes I'll buy it just because like I love the movie, I want to have it in my collection, and then it's like, I just watched the movie. Am I gonna watch it again? No, but I'll have it in my collection for when I want to watch it. And then 5 years go by, and I still haven't watched it. Some of my Blu-rays and 4Ks I have in my collection, I've had for half a decade, and I still have not even opened. They're collecting dust on my shelf, and I just like they're just my shelf trophies. Like they're just like my first ever Criterion haul. I have Criterions in my collection that are still in the shrink wrap. Like, that's insane. Yeah, a lot of us are just hoarders, and it stings a bit to admit, but I have to admit it because I'm seeing this a lot in other people's shelfies, and especially in my own. Another one that hits close to home is that people care more about the gosh darn packaging than the actual films themselves. Art cards, slipcovers, and embossing, steelbooks matter more than the actual content of the disc. I hear so many times people in the collector forum saying, I hate this movie, but oh, that slipcover. Oh, look at the embossing. Oh, I just had to get the steelbook. Did you like the movie? Fuck no, it was a piece of shit garbage movie. Then why did you spend so much money on it? Oh, because of the embossing. Oh, but look at the steelbook. It comes with a clear slip. Like, I've done this too, so I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I've done this myself. But it's just funny to look inwards and to be self-deprecating because, yeah, like how many times have I done a video talking about slipcovers and people are just like, what the fuck, who gives? It's just a piece of cardboard. Why do you give a shit? It's one of those things where you just have to put a mirror to yourself and like, wow, I'm kind of goofy, but like that's just how the world works, and it's fun to talk about it. But you have to admit it. Like a lot of us are literally just, you know, packaging collectors, where people will buy. Like I've gotten better at it. Like when that Jaws 50th anniversary came out with the actual theatrical artwork instead of the whatever commissioned artwork that they used for the kind of weird, making it look like more of like a slasher horror film than it actually is. It's like a classic, you know, 70s horror, you know, thriller. If this was a while ago, I would have bought it again. But goddamn, they're charging retail prices for a re-release with no new, like I think one new bonus feature and no new transfer, and because obviously the transfer is beautiful itself, but you're literally just paying up for that piece of cardboard. And like, are we really gonna pay $30 after tax for a piece of cardboard? Same with steelbooks. Like, how many times have we seen those re-release steelbooks for those Scream Factory releases? Return of the Living Dead got another steelbook. Like, it's crazy, and people will buy them just because they love the movie and because they love. But like, you already have the disc. You already have the disc, and what you're paying for is a piece of tin. And you're paying, you know, $35 to $45. Sometimes I know people up north, people in different countries and different continents where they don't have access to Scream Factory, importing that stuff in there and paying way more. Like no shade to anyone. Again, we're all consenting adults. We can all do whatever the fuck we want to do with our own money. It's just funny to kind of take a step back and look at it from an outside perspective. Yeah, a lot of us are literally just package collectors. And now one of the biggest hot takes, maybe some actually people will agree with me, is that streaming can sometimes be better. Now let me get this first. Not on a quality aspect of it, not on visual aspects, not on actual owning the film. I'm talking about sometimes when you see a movie that you're somewhat interested in, you haven't really heard much about it. If you spend the $25 to $30 picking it up and you realize you just don't like the movie, as compared to, oh, it's on Netflix, let me watch it. Decent quality. Like, for me, I have good internet, so it's a decent quality for me. I've saved so much money just streaming a movie, realizing it's not for me. It's like things like Sisters, things like The Funhouse, movies that I thought I would love, and I just ended up really not liking them, and thank God I watched them beforehand, because I would have spent $40 on a movie that I absolutely hate, and that I would have been sad for, and then nothing is worse in collecting and in a hobby is getting not only just FOMO, but FOMO, buying, and then buyer's regret. Buyer's regret is some of the worst stings in physical media collecting that I've had to deal with, and it's insane. So sometimes streaming can actually be better than buying the physical disc, because sometimes you may not even like the movie in the first place. Not saying that, you know, buying a disc is better. Not saying that buying a disc isn't better, because it totally is. And, you know, it supports the movie itself, and sometimes it sucks because streaming movies, streaming exclusive movies, or sometimes even movies made by a streaming company like an Apple TV, we still haven't gotten a goddamn physical release for Killers of the Flower Moon, unless you want to import it from Germany or Spain or whatever the hell. But like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna do that, especially because it's like a region B lock thing. Another one, region locking. It's stupid. I hate region locking. Now, I don't think this is a hot take, but region locking is the reason why bootlegs and pirating is a thing, at least for me and a lot of people, allegedly. But yeah, so those are just some of my hot takes. Again, don't take this too personally. This is just a fun little rant video that I wanted to do, just because I've been noticing some discourse in the collecting community, and I just wanted to kind of showcase it and talk about it. So yeah, those are my collecting hot take videos. Let me know down below if you have any more collector hot takes. If you're into collecting, like if you're not, like I get random comments of people saying, why the fuck would you buy a DVD in 2025? And I'm like, it's not a DVD, it's a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray disc, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that was just today's video. A lighthearted video, not really, but that's what I wanted it to be. But anyways, yeah, that was today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel and you love everything physical media, Blu-ray hunting videos, rant videos, top 10 videos, unboxing videos, which I want to get more into, just random sit-down vlogs like this, hit the subscribe button. Got more content down the way. I also wanted to thank you all again for 3,000 subscribers, and thank you all for the recent support on the latest few videos. They've been meaning a lot and been motivating me more to put out more content. I'm obviously not a mid-level media where I can post every single day, because that guy is a beast and a machine. I am a stressed out college student, okay? So yeah, so anyways, that was today's video. Again, see you guys later. Have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this. Please stay safe and God bless. Peace, cheers, along with physical media. Ka-chow.